I'll tell you when we're live.
Yep, I need a pen.
All right. Welcome. We are live on YouTube.
Just like that.
Yep.
It worked. Holy cow. Peter, this is kind of a moment.
Yes.
We have to kind of let it sink in. For the ones tuning in for the very first time, this isn't our first week. We're probably, I hate to say it, 2 months into this now. But there's definitely been some hurdles and growing pains along the way getting to this point. People have tuned in to see some epic bloopers trying to get us synced up right away. So just digesting this feels really good. So I would love to start off with an intro. Welcome everyone to the RAD Show. This is RC After Death. No, this is RC Addicted Dads. The lighter side of RC, having a good time, sharing our passion. My name is Mike. You might know me as Monster, aka Monster RC, with my good co-host. Take it away, Peter. I'm not stepping on your toes.
Hey, Mike. How's everybody doing? I see. I'm looking in the comments here, so I see Size Matters. How you doing? Richard Kroon, Tyler Slane. People are joining. Like Mike said, my name is Peter Lundberg. Any Scaler. For those who don't know, Mike and I work together. With Carryall and also other brands. We finally got the YouTube synced up, so this is broadcasting live for you guys. Just keep sending the chats in as you join. My man, Nick Barber. I owe Nick Barber for this little guy here.
RC Jesus.
RC Orlando for everything you did.
They don't call him RC Jesus for nothing. Yes. He can make a miracle happen.
Yes, he took care of me big time. So everybody that is coming in, just keep messaging on YouTube Live. I'm monitoring on my iPad. Joe Mason computer is restarting. All right. So our guest speaker, he'll be in here at some point, and Joe Rope. So
can I hear you say that just one more time? We actually made it to a point we're actually going to have a guest.
Yes.
That's a first.
Yeah. So
dude, it's a night of first.
We're bringing in our first guest, Joe Ropes. He's restarting his computer, and he'll be in here soon. We'll touch on what's going on in the Joe Ropes world.
Dude, I'm grinning. I am so freaking pumped up right now. It's a night of first. They actually have a guest and live streaming, getting some feedback, and this will actually be saved. This is something that will be logged into the YouTube cloud and be pulled up later on. If I don't know why anybody would, but you don't have to watch it live. For the people out at RCX and bouncing around doing the West Coast time, it's like early there. It's like 5 o'clock. They're still eating dinner and doing stuff. So you don't have to watch it live. That's cool. I love it.
Yeah, and there's definitely events going on, like you said, RCX. I don't know if anybody, as we wait for Joe Ropes, RCX, there was tons of live streams today. I saw Axial Paul going live. I saw Reef Luke, Moto Luke. The Reef setup looks great. The Axial live stream from RCX was fantastic. RC Car Action posted some stuff up today. RCX looks like a good event. Definitely looks like something good.
You got the boys down south, Corey Allen and the Wet and Wild crew doing their thing down in the dirty south, and A Main. I don't know if you caught any of that. The boys over at A Main are doing a big gig tonight with a night crawl. I was on the line earlier today with Lit LED Manny from Lit. He was the one to tell me about what's happening over at A Main tonight with the night crawl. What a good dude. That guy is putting out some product right now for, I got this little project right here, the Phoenix. That thing needs a light kit. I got the SCX6 needing a light kit, and this guy is killing it. I was just looking for 2 inner fender rock lights for up front. Manny comes back at me and fires off like, "Oh, I got the rear done. I got headlights. I got this. Bam, bam." He's like tossing it like, "I got all these options." I'm like, "What?" And then on top of it, pick the color.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, I used I know Tyler Slane, the big lit guy, and
Sorry.
I have one of his kits for the TF2, and
Yeah.
let me tell you, I
Yeah.
just messaged him. I
Light
got the
out,
kit in the
bright.
mail, plug and play, just a great light kit. I mean, and he has so many variations of the light kits that he makes, and plug and play, very easy to install. That down to the millimeter of the wire run. Just check out Lit LED, man. They make some great light kits, for sure.
Over at RCX, it was so cool to see the full scale. I watched the heat wave come rolling off the back of the trailer. It would be, sort of SEMA, like being able to walk around and look at the full scale, the inspiration behind the rock bouncers and the short course trucks, like these full scale replicas. The bomber, you'd be able to walk up and just touch the bomber. Well, for the lucky guys at Horizon, they're actually getting a ride in it, and you go
Yeah, it
out to
looks like
Axial Fest or Badlands, they're actually giving them, joy rides in a bomber. Like
yeah,
that's an experience.
it looks like a great event. I mean, from what Axial had a 24 course that they set up that I saw today, and
Yeah,
it looks like a great event, hands
it's
down.
awesome.
And then upcoming events, I guess we'll talk about. I know Beat the Creek. You mentioned
Yep.
that you're
Yeah,
now going down there, which is exciting. And I heard Jeremy Kilburn.
Richard
So
Kroon.
we're gonna have Richard Kroon is transporting you there. And,
Yeah, he's my chauffeur.
his chauffeur. And good job, Richard.
He doesn't know what he's getting into.
Oh,
bro,
Richard, you want some stories, man? You call
Bro,
me. I travel with Mike all the time, man.
I can talk.
So
That's
yeah,
all. But that's all he wanted. He's like, I just need somebody to keep me awake. I'll drive. I just need somebody to keep me awake. I'm like, well, pull that little string right back here, and I will go.
Yeah, so Beat the Creek, we're gonna have a lot of people down there. So excited to see some content. I'm sure you'll go live. Good to see the carry-all presence, trail presence down there, and Chris Lindgren does a great job. One of these years I'll get there, and looking forward to seeing content from that event. Yeah, so as far as news goes,
Well,
updates,
and don't forget about nationals. If you're following what Harley and Matty Ket are doing right now, I know it's a lot more. It's way more copy than I care to get into, but these guys know how to take comp and make it fun. The humor, watching Matt Cat paint his driver to look like Harley, I peed my pants. I'm like, that is freaking hilarious. Talented, keeping it fun, and these guys are actually pushing the envelope right now with these builds. Really showing off their talent. And talk about showing off talent. Freaking Hemi Storm. Did you see what he did with his SCX6?
Let me tell you, when I saw the 24 come out of the back of the SCX6, you saw that, right?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh,
no.
So on one of his,
it's hidden in the back. Yeah,
he has a custom where the 24 slides in the back of it. I mean, it's totally
that's brilliant.
It's
and now
totally
it makes sense. Well, then it's all concealed. That apparatus that he printed for the back, I mean, he just changed the whole configuration of the way. I mean, it still screams cheap, but now that I figured it out, and you spoil alert, and you tell me he's concealing an SCX24 in there, genius.
Yeah.
Look, the kid's on fire.
I'll just go through the comments real quick before Joe gets on. So I see Rob from DSM.
Holy crap!
What's up,
we
Rob?
were checking out Rob's new website today. We know Rob from DSM. If you've never been to DSM Off-Roads, website before. It is an experience like no other when it comes to website design. The way he has implemented his talents and made it search friendly. I hear nothing but frustration with the Carry-All site. Like, bro, I'm not finding this, or I can't find that. You're not going to get that problem with DSM. The way he categorizes everything, and mad props to him. DSM has put it together. Not only does he have an amazing website, but like we talked about before, I doubt Rob was listening then, but we've talked many a times about the setup that man has at events. It is a presence at a level way up there. It's like a Reefs setup. The banner, the presentation table, so good stuff. I don't want to kill all of our time, so I'll zip it. Mad props to DSM for killing it on the website.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point. Like, customer experience. How long should you be on a website before you check out? I go to DSM, put in my vehicle type. What a great website! I mean, hands down, probably one of the most organized. 10 minutes, you can find what you're looking for and check out already. I mean,
he was quizzing me. He's like, giving me the brand. See how long it takes you to find this brand, this model, and a bearing. And it was like, I could find it like 3 different ways. Like, you can't not find it. Like, very impressive website. Good stuff.
Yeah, and we got some other people I see joining. Bobby Linkrist and RC Jesus. Yeah, I mean, RCX you mentioned before.
RC Jesus, we confirmed the date for him, April 30th. RC Jesus will be here with us, April 30th.
Really?
RC Jesus will be our guest that night.
Nice.
So we are going to start a calendar. We'll have them lined up. We'll have plenty of time next Monday, or I'm sorry, what am I saying? Monday. Next Saturday, we can already announce. I'll give the teaser right now. I don't care. Judd Rummage, the man behind the Pro Rack, will be with us next Saturday. Good stuff. It's exciting to have some sort of the Pro Rack with the light, with the backlighting. Simple and effective. I'm hoping by next week he should be able to bring out some of his 24 scale sized Pro Racks, maybe a 6 scale. The man is on fire. He is keeping busy. The Pro Rack has turned out to be a very effective setup. And the genius behind it, allowing you to take it off your wall and turn it into a stand.
Yeah.
Not everybody has a stand for a table at an event. Well, what a great way to just take it off the wall, convert it, and you got options.
And I saw that at Rebel at USDE. He had the Pro Rack set up.
Powder coated black. They were hot.
Yeah. So I think, guys, we're waiting for Joe. I guess we could go with a weekend review real quick.
Yeah.
So last week, if you saw Mike's post, RC Car Action is coming to town. I'm not going to spoil what's on the inside, but this is a good issue. Very good pro tips, very good builders in here. Some of the guys we know are in, so I'm not going to spoil it, but this is the new RC Car Action hitting stand soon. That was dropped.
There's a lot of good stuff in there. People we know, product, great issue. Like I said, for the people that don't subscribe to to RC Car Action, it's an outlet like no other. To get a printed issue, it's a special moment. I keep issues in the bathroom. I like to give my eyes a rest once in a while and put down that phone for a little bit. So it is that, published issue. It's special. Cut it up and frame it. What you got with that frame, dude?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have is that down in this room?
Yeah, I'll get it.
But Peter got his, one of the issues that Peter, was published in, he went on Amazon and got this sick frame that came out so good. It meant, dude,
Yeah,
as
it was.
Peter would say, mint.
Yeah, it was a good, cheap find on Amazon. And when, the thing that I like about RC Car Action, like Mike said, you can unplug. If you travel, I fly a lot for a living. I'm always on the road, and give your eyes a rest. Hard copy. I think we have Joe Mason coming in
Oh,
here.
is he coming with us? Are you
Yes.
gonna put him on right away? I just wanted to quick show you the blue shocks on the tan, the
Oh, the trail.
Trial shocks. I did them blue accent on the tan body. It came out great. Um, so are you going to turn Joe right on? Is he going to come right in, or do I have a
Are you
second
ready
here?
for him? Are you ready?
I'll just start rambling right now.
All
So this is, you start doing what you need to do, Peter. As he rolls in, he'll be here. So for those that don't know, Joe Mason owns a company called Joe Ropes. And we got hooked up with Joe through Peter. He introduced me, Mr. Joe Mason. How are you? So I see
There he
you.
is.
I
Hey,
see you.
Good to see you.
So just give me a second,
good to see
Joe.
you guys. Good to
It
see you
is
guys.
fantastic to see you. So Peter introduced me. Whoa, I got stuff falling down back here. Peter introduced me to Joe right before the fix last year. And the concept behind a lanyard, paracord woven lanyard, was genius to me. I'm walking around with $300 radios, more 8-channel for the Red Cat and Pala, these fancy radios, right? And right before I hooked up with Joe, I had this 30-cent freebie that I got in a swag bag somewhere with, I don't know, somebody got their name printed on it. It was this cheap lanyard, that your typical lanyard that you use. And over time, the metal just got corroded and the radio broke from the lanyard. So it was that hallelujah, oh wow moment. Holy crap, I get it. It is like an insurance investment once you have a woven lanyard that will protect your investment. And working with Joe, we found out there was color options. And then he did a micro rig attachment. That was like, okay, we need to get the Joe Rope micro rig attachment on the side of the carry-all backpack, because people are looking for a way to take their micros. Micros have just taken over the scene, and we do not need to tell Joe Rope about that. This man, if he gets the microphone here and he can give us a class on how to build a micro truck, this kid, when I thought I was upgrading my micros, I had no idea what was out there. He's like, "No, dude, we can go brushless." I'm like, "What? Oh, dude, let me send you a link." I'm like, "What? In a micro? Are you kidding me?" So between the wrist rope and your lanyard, I mean, Joe, it's an epic pleasure to be able to collaborate, call you a technical partner, call you a friend. Not only right after did we meet this guy in just a zinger and a dare, like, come on out to PA and hang with us. Next day, homeboy's like checking out air flights. I'm coming. I'm like, what? So it was very cool. It was the perfect start to a great beginning of a long-term partnership in friendship and business relationship, the whole nine. Take it away, Mr. Joe Rope, Mr. Joe Mason. Forgive me. We'll call him Joe Rope. People know him as Joe Rope, so we'll run with it.
Yeah, I go by both. The new people know me as Joe Ropes. The old timers just know me as Joe or Joe Mason. Well, thanks for having me. First of all, thanks for having me on the show. I'm honored to be one of the first guests on the show.
That's a moment.
Yeah, I'm still honored to be part of the collaborating team with Carryall. It's been a growing experience from day one since we've collaborated, and I'm eternally grateful for it.
And you can say that for many levels. not only have we seen Carryall grow since you've come on with us, but we've seen Joe grow with us.
Oh, yes.
And that has been the entire message all along with the vendor collaboration was joint vendor growth. That was always at the core, jointly growing together. And it's proven method to work. And big congrats to you because locally we know it's a success. On social media, people love it. It's working.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's been great for both of us. Just in September, I went on a cross-country road trip on my road to Proline by the Fire. And over 10 days, I stopped at a different spot every day and trailed with a different state's crew. You know,
Wow.
one day it was the Missouri Scalers. That was our first stop. And I was just amazed with the amount of love for both Carryall and Joe Ropes there were just in that one group. You know, I'm passing a group of guys that are messing around on this one super technical rock, and I'm pretty sure I sent you a picture of it, but there's like 6 guys with Carryall bags on,
That's
and
awesome.
the rest of them all have Joe Ropes with them as well. And I'm just like, this is what I love to see. You know, I love to see that everybody's showing everyone love. You know, and you know, and you've said this to me in many times before, you know, not everything is in everybody's price book. You know, as much as I would love an SCX6, I'm never going to get one. That's way out of my price book. You know, I love it. I can appreciate it. I would never get one though, just because I couldn't afford that. You know, there's people out there that are like, oh, I got to have one. Boom, they get it. You know, and I love
I'm
seeing
not going to
everybody.
defend that or try and be combative on that at all. I'm not going to disagree with you. It is a hefty price tag up front, and it gives you a wallop. But when you buy this
Yes.
truck, okay, you get that
Oh
as a
yeah.
kit, and then $600 later in just electronics, you're
Yep.
right there. I'm
Oh
like,
no, I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you.
but I
I'm
didn't
to-
do that at once, so it didn't
oh
feel
no, you could,
nearly as
yeah,
bad. You can,
right. Right. You can do it in steps where it's like, okay, I can put a new servo in it. I can
yeah,
put a,
we can do
you know,
one thing a
better
week, or
ESC at a
yes,
time. Right.
yeah.
You know,
The
do those
only
budget
other
builds.
thing that I can give to the SCX6 is just that it's a big girl, and
Yeah.
it's a treat. But this show is going to get sick and tired of hearing me say the word SCX6 over the next month or two. We spent some time working on that thing this week. We did some upgrades, and yeah, we're a fan. But yeah, I I know what this cross country trip that you were on, Joe. Did this take you to Hawaii, or was this something?
So so that trip I was referring to was for Proline by the Fire.
Okay, okay, that's
Um,
fantastic. But I know
yeah,
you were just in Hawaii recently.
yes, just last month, during the week of USTE.
That's a big
I
check on a bucket list right there. Mad props, bro.
so
That
I grew up there, so technically it was me going home.
wow.
Um, but it it kind of presented itself in a more financial situation for me than USTE was. I didn't put as much planning into USTE as I should have. So I definitely plan on making it maybe 2023. But
You have USTE on your radar for next year.
yes, for
Wow.
next year.
That's an experience. Highly recommended.
Well, I've been trying to mark ones off of my bucket list. You know, my one that I go to every year is always Proline. Everybody at Proline knows me. Like, I'm not a new face anymore. So in July, I had the honor of being in the presence of yourself and Brian Parker with the G6 and
Yep,
getting
yep,
Joe Ropes
yep.
getting Joe Ropes G6 certified. You know, that was a big bucket list event for me to check off as well. I can't say that I did it, but the product made it through.
Just being at the event, the Blue Rocks Campground.
Yes,
It
phenomenal facility.
It is, and it was. I kept telling you all along, you don't have to come and do the 12-hour. You are going to get everything you want out of this and more. There's enough trails set up for you to go and walk. Peter can attest. I mean, we love going back to that event every year. I mean, it doesn't hurt that it's 30 minutes down the road from my house. Like, it's nice to actually have an event close to home. I don't get jealous of people often, but I do get very jealous of the West Coast people. And there's a lot of big events out there. And I'm talking to these people and I'm like, oh, dude, it's hour from my house. I'm like, what? That big headlining event, that one that must go to every year, is an hour away from you, lucky duck.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Proline by the Fire. RC Jesus said he met you in 2019.
Proline
by the Fire. And Mike and I were talking.
That's where I met RC Jesus that year too. Now
that was a big year for both of us. That was a big year for both of us.
Yeah, Mike and I were talking about attending this year, and I actually, it's funny you bring it up because I actually looked up Proline by the Fire, looked up the tickets for this year. I looked up the map, the route, 2.5 hour drive from LAX though. But
listen, it's worth it. I will land in LAX anytime.
I'll tell you the secret. The secret is you fly into Vegas. Rent a car in Vegas. It's only a 3-hour drive from Vegas.
Oh, wait a minute. You just threw me a curveball, dude.
You're going to save so much money that way because flights into Vegas are always cheap. Rental cars in Vegas are cheap.
I'm liking what he's singing here. I was all about TMZ at this time when me and my homeboy Desmond Mooney flew out there. I was like, Des, you know, I just want to land in LAX. I'm first time in Cali. I want to see somebody famous. I want to see TMZ in me when I get off the airplane. I literally took a limo from here to the airport. Bro, I felt like a baller the entire trip. We did get to see the California Highway Patrol. We got to see Chips on motorcycles. We got to see a Lamborghini on the highway. I was like checking all this stuff off. Like, yeah. So it worked out. It worked out great for us. But I'm digging what you're saying here, Joe. That is smart.
Because if I do make Proline by the Fire 2022, I'm gonna have to fly in.
Fly it this time. Okay.
Yeah, I have to just because I won't be able to pull the extra time off that I would want to.
Well, hey, hit us up. You know, maybe we can all share a rental. We'll all land in Vegas around the same time and take the rental in. It's an event.
It's very tempting. Mike and I are gonna put it on the books as a tentative, but you know, looking it up, listening to you, RC Jesus, and the comments I'm seeing. You know, everything Mike told me about Proline by the Fire and what you're talking about, it's definitely something we should, you know, consider.
Oh yes, it's definitely an amazing event.
It's such a great event because it's like Switzerland in a way. They play neutral. And you get Element out there. You get all these.
You get
brands,
everybody.
Brands. Everybody is coming here. It's not an isolated event. It gets so much support from so many brands. So the vendor area is impressive. Not to mention the local clubs that are out on the West Coast.
Yes.
These people put some hours into this event. And then you've got
they build courses. So there's like 6 or 7 local clubs that join building courses, and these trails are like 3-4 miles long.
Wow.
And they're phenomenal. They go along the mountain ridges and stuff and the hills, and it's great.
Talking to your homeboy Manny earlier today, and we got into a long conversation about By the Fire, and he was telling me you know, all the work that these guys put into the trails. Then, you know, take the terrain on the West Coast. Your truck will do things that almost defy gravity.
Oh
And,
yeah.
like it felt like Velcro. I'm like prying my truck off the rocks, like that was wicked. It's like upside down. I'm like, back home, that thing would have been rolling down the hill by now. Very cool. Makes everyone a good driver on the West Coast.
Oh yeah.
Your truck will do things. It doesn't seem natural. But yes, very cool. I'm so glad that you've been on the move, Joe, and been able to get a face behind your brand. And that means a lot, Joe. I think at the end of the day, people appreciate supporting who you are. You know, I get that a lot, even with Carriol. Like, bro, you know, people come at you just for what you put out. Dude. They're going to come and support you just for who you are.
Right.
And it the same thing goes right back at you, Joe. It's a little softer demeanor, but the presence is there. You have a great face for what you're doing. It fits. And I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. And I got a couple questions, you know.
Please let the pro. He makes me look good because he keeps his stuff professional and without questions.
Yeah. So, yeah. And, when I remember that message, Joe and I had, and, when I first introduced Joe to Mike, way back when, and, Joe, it's definitely, nice to see the brand, how it's grown from that phone call when you attended Blue Rocks to now. Looking at the different options and the different products you have, it's just remarkable. I like seeing brands grow, and I have so many different variations of this product, and I use it.
Glow in the dark.
Yeah, and so what's next for Joe Ropes? Like, everybody now, I feel like it's a household name when you mention Joe Ropes. People know what it is. They know what the products do. Like, what do you see the next steps? Events or website, or like, what do you envision?
Yeah, I actually finally pulled the trigger and I bought the domain joeropes.com. So the website, the website is under construction. It's not something that I'm having my designer bum rush into. I'm literally just giving him time to get it together. I want it to be as simple yet as efficient as possible. That's been my main issue is trying to juggle orders just via messages. I lose them sometimes because 8 people will message me at one time and then a message will get pushed down. And
because what's funny here, what you're trying to say is the amount of options that you offer.
My options.
They want to come at you. Well, thank you, because as you're going to point at this, for those at home that think that those are spools of filament, maybe a 3D printer, no. It's what I thought it was at first. I'm like, bro, guys, some 3D printer with a lot of filament rolls. No. And then I realized these are spools of cord.
Yeah.
And so someone, when they want blue, you throw them a curveball because you're like, well, what kind of blue? I've got this blue and that blue, and there's like 8 shades of blue.
So
15 variations.
And and that's what makes it difficult for me, because like you said, it's like, oh, what kind of blue do you want? Okay, well, I've got teal blue. I've got a little bit of a different teal blue. I've got blue with yellow stripes. I've got kind of blue with some speckle stuff. And I mean,
and nothing will ever photograph the color you want it. Like, because you're like, oh, the lighting's not right. It's not that shade that you think.
I have 2, 4, 6. I have 7 shop lights, above head shop lights in my basement.
Yep.
They're all, I can't photo them for the life of me. It's terrible. You say, oh, you want camouflage? Okay, I've got light desert sand. I've got darker sand. I've got green foliage. I've got green with some stripes. So it's like I'm constantly sending samples to people and just occupying time that
It's a good
I could
thing,
be.
and that's a double-edged sword sometimes, giving people that kind of option.
I know, I
It's
know.
great that you
It's a
offer it, but
blessing.
sometimes
It's a blessing
less
yet a
is more.
curse.
And
Yeah,
I think the website will help because I totally know what you're saying. I mean, the amount of messages I get, I can easily see how, people are
you
like,
get
I want this, I want that, and you get eight at a time.
you're
So I think the
holding their
website will
hand.
help.
Yep,
Yeah. Like when you send me orders that you get from your website, like
yep.
no BS, that's the easiest thing. I
Right.
love being
It's
able to go through.
already
It's like,
done.
okay,
Okay. Boom,
I
boom.
need a red one, I need a blue
Go
one, I
on.
need a green one. Okay. Check, 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 grab my colors, and I go and I start working on them. That's
That's
basically
what
my
you're
goal.
working
That's
for.
my goal
Yep.
is to where I get home because this is part-time for me.
Well,
Everybody keep,
I'm sorry. What I was going to say was it was an oh wow moment for us at Carryall when we were getting just Joe Rope orders, and I'm
yeah,
like, wait a minute. I'm like flipping it over. Did they forget something? Like, why are they just ordering Joe Rope here? And then Joe and I talked about it. He's like, bro, you got it on a website. Like, they could just go there, click, and they're out. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. So it's a great goal for you to have, and that will be a big moment. Then a spot for them to just log in and check out and makes your life easier.
Right.
I know you like
Um,
that one-on-one though. I know you're gonna miss it though, because there's a
oh, for
certain
sure.
piece of that you get to know the person. You're hearing a
Yeah.
story, and I know I
I
enjoy
see
that
pictures.
too.
I love when people send me pictures and they're like, this is my rig.
Tell me what I
Match it.
want. Yeah,
Right. No, no, just match it. I don't care. Something close.
I
And it's
trust you.
like, all
Yep.
right, cool. And I'll throw something together. They're like, I don't care. Anything but pink. Okay, I'll find something. There you go. But I hate when people say, oh, I don't care any color. And it's like, well, that's too hard. If you don't give me at least something of a reference, like, oh, anything but pink, okay, well, I know I cannot do pink. Well, I'll give you teal. You'll get teal today. It's not pink, so they can't complain. But when they say, oh, I don't care what color, and I send them a pink one, they're like, oh, you sent me a pink one. It's like,
The
well,
one the one
you
good
didn't.
thing is it's one of those items that you end up with more than one of,
Oh, yes.
you know.
I've got hundreds,
Right. But
obviously.
you've got
Um,
customers that
yeah.
have handful, it's nothing for you to have customers that have 6 different Joe ropes in different colors and change them out. Wear pink in October and blue in April.
Yep.
There's different reasons why you want to wear a color for that month. Or to match a truck that you're driving.
Yep.
There could be many reasons why, but it's a great item that you're able to accessorize with, and you know be who you want to be and show yourself off with your Joe Rope lanyard. It's a way to
And I
Yeah.
be
think,
yourself.
and I think one of the things that impressed me, like even before, Mike, I introduced you to Joe, like when you remember back USDE when I had a
Yep.
Joe Ropes lanyard, the green one, that was the original, I call it the OG one, the first
Yep.
one I
Yeah.
ever
Yep.
had. The customer support. I mean, I've worked with Joe a couple times through
Getting
Messenger,
length,
and
like
he actually measured one out for me because I
Yep.
didn't want it to hang
how big's
too
your
low.
chest? How tall are you?
Yeah, so the
Let's
customer
make it fit.
support that Joe
Yeah,
does with his customers to get that perfect length is impressive.
100%. I didn't
And that's a
even
big
think
feature.
about that. Yeah, dude,
And
that's
that's a big
important.
feature.
Huge feature to actually have a lanyard fitted to you that feels comfortable and get the length that you want. Or, we like to drape it off the shoulder like a leash, or then you got the wrist option if you don't want
Yep.
the whole thing around you. There's so many different ways to look at it, and giving them all that customer support is a great thing, Joe. It's fantastic. We're so happy for you. It's the
Yeah.
easiest way to put it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
with
no,
with the news of the website coming, and hearing your name on social media and events coming, and it's just great seeing brands grow. I like seeing it. So hats off to you and the brand. Looks like good things are coming, and Keep moving strong, man.
I got a scale garage from I'm noticing a banner over your shoulder there, RC Garage. Our
Yeah,
homeboy,
my garage is set up over there in the
yeah, you
corner of the
can't see
shop.
mine, but Bobby RC Garage has put together a wicked cool scale garage. I might be able to get Peter to swing go. You know, Peter's no, not spinning his computer either. We have a scale garage that has the Joe Rope logo imprinted on it. You are
Oh,
literally
yeah.
front and center on the
Hey.
back wall with a, oh, dude, not bad. Very nice. Look
That's
at
my
you.
that's my 20 that's my 24
Scale
my
garage. Look at Joe Rope
garage. Let's
going.
grab a truck for it.
Joe, I
Yeah,
don't even recognize you right now. Look at you going scale.
I know, right? I'm all
Who are you?
Wow.
I remember when you were first making that build to bring to the recon, you were sending me photos like, oh, look at me go. Look at this. I found this cool thing. And he's like, I'm getting it now. I love how you got it, how cool it was to build something scale. It's a bug.
so it is. You want to see my most miniature scale build that I'm
Yeah.
working on?
Yeah.
So I was watching the live while my computer
Oh,
was
who's got a gladiator?
updating.
Okay.
Yes, I've got a gladiator. You know me in my 24s,
I
Mike. You
know,
know me in
I
my
know,
24s.
I know. Are you going to
So,
lift the body, or can we see under the hood on this? Or
so under the hood is all stock, nothing fancy underneath.
okay,
The only thing I have done is a magnet body mount so far.
smart.
Um,
Where's your interior?
I took it out temporarily because I needed to glue a magnet on the
Oh.
inside of my
Yep.
inside of my cab.
And why
But
is that
one
magnet
well
there?
one thing that I did was I flipped the rear hinge.
Okay.
So it raised my body.
Yep.
I flipped the bumper hinge so it raises the
Shut up.
bumper and it
Okay.
makes it nice
Oh,
and
snap.
flush.
Okay. Give it a 2-inch,
Um,
3-inch body lift there. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I have made this.
Pop open.
Yeah, give me a second. This opens up and
Now,
sticks
did you
to-
have to cut that, or did that literally?
No, it unscrews. It unscrews. It actually
Oh.
screws into it. So you have to remove it off of
It
the rack.
does. Yep.
Yeah, you have to remove it off of the rack and then
Okay.
unscrew it. But I'm building a tent,
Smart.
a lean-to tent.
Yep.
And
Is
it
there
will
a file or something out there, or
No,
is
no,
this this
this
is
is
from your
something-
this is from your real job skills coming out?
Yes, this is my real job skills coming out. I work with sewing machines. I make tarps primarily, but I make custom boat covers,
You
custom
sly
boat
dog.
lifts. So yeah, it's definitely hard trying to break it down to such a small
Right.
scale. It's a challenge.
Yeah, it can't be that big of a piece by the time.
No, actually, I know upstairs in my catch-all room. If you give me a second, I'll grab one of my templates.
Yeah, and wait, Joe.
I can hear you.
Okay, I was gonna tell him, bring back one of your like super scale, like super modded scale trucks. I mean, Peter, if you've ever seen any of his ones that he's done, this kid is taking. I mean, I know there's other people out there that scale their 24 stuff out, but he's building super comp 24 scale stuff. Like, it's next level. Very impressive.
So you want to see a crazy
I want to see a
build?
yeah.
Okay.
People need to understand there's a lot of people
So-
on here that got stock 24 scale gladiators, and when they see what is out there and what is in the realm of possibility.
So I just put this on the scale like 10 minutes before the show because I was curious
Okay.
on what it weighs.
Yep,
It's pretty beefy. It weighs 15 ounces. Or sorry, yeah, 15 ounces.
Okay.
So it's just under a pound for a 24. And that's with a battery in there.
Okay.
This has got a Mamba Micro X ESC
Wow.
with an original Holmes Hobby 380 revolver, with Shapeways motor mount, all steel transmission gears, steel spur gear, steel pinion.
What battery is that? What?
So I just picked this battery up. I hate to say it, I got it on Amazon.
Yep.
But it's
No, I want to know, like, is it 2S, 3S? What
it's
are
a
we dealing?
2S.
2S.
It's a 2S 35C 1000 mAh Crazy Pony. And the main reason I bought this one is because it's got dual outputs.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's got the stock ESC
Yep.
battery plug, and
Yep.
then it's got the red JSTs. So I
And-
can run this battery in either my stock rigs, like my
Yep.
Gladiator,
Yep.
or my highly modded rig like this.
Smart. I
Because
love it.
I run JST on this
All
one.
for them. Okay.
Yeah, and then I've got a Spectrum 2-channel Spectrum receiver I run it off of.
So much
It's got
10
it's got-
scale brought down to 24th. It's amazing.
It's got all aluminum axle housings.
Nice.
It's got more steering radius. These are the Coda Racing axles.
Yep.
And from what I've found out, these are the axles that have the most turning radius on the market. They cost me like $70. It was pretty
what
hurting when
foams? What are those? The Crawler
so-
Innovation?
So I've got Hyrax tires.
Yep.
And in here I've got the Flubber Stuffers.
Is that the ones
1/24
that you
scale.
hooked us up with at Blue Rocks? You set me up with some.
No,
24
those were the Crawler Innovations.
Yes.
Those I have in another rig.
Okay.
These are basically the 24 scale version of like the anti-foams, but by
Okay.
a
Oh,
different
yeah.
by a
No
different
kidding.
company.
Wow.
The company is called Flubber Stuffers.
Okay.
They're
Wow.
here out of Minnesota.
Nice.
One of my buddies. So yeah, I've got that. I've got aftermarket shocks on it as well.
Are
this
you
thing-
competing with this thing then?
Yes,
okay.
this is my
Competition.
competition rig.
Okay.
Well,
the 24 scale competition is becoming a thing. It's
Oh, yes.
gaining mega traction. I don't know if it's because of the winter months. It always seems to really gain popularity in the colder months. I hate to
yeah.
call it an indoor thing, but it just seems to really be popular. There's a lot of indoor scale.
I definitely play with mine more
more in the
indoors and
winter.
outdoor.
Okay.
I have a course in my backyard. I've got I have 4 tons of boulders in my backyard. And my initial intent was for my 10th scale stuff. Well, once I got it laid out and I'm looking at it, it's over like a 25 by like 18-foot section. And I'm like, this isn't big enough for 10th scale. Like,
Dude,
I would have to
it
take over
happened
half.
to me. I went out
So
to
I
build a
was like,
10th
this is
scale
gonna-
course, and it just turned into 24th. It was
Yeah,
perfect.
so like I'll take my kids out. I've got 7 micros, 24s. So me and my kids
Bring
will
the
go
kids
out
in the
into
neighborhood
backyard.
over. Micros for everyone. Come and party.
Yep. We'll play for hours out there, and it's nice because I can stick them in the corner and go barbecue. I'll be making dinner,
And you
I
don't
know
care if they break it. They're easy to
that they're
fix.
not running around.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and they're pretty durable.
So what
funny
did
thing
you
is,
run
I
upstairs for, Joe? Show me what you ran upstairs for.
This is one of the canvases.
Your template. Okay.
My template for my
Yep.
my tent. I've got a let me see if I can adjust this camera a little better. So I've got a piece of wire that I'm making into, actually it's right here.
I hope you're planning on making more of these after people start seeing this.
So
You are going to be getting messages.
Yeah. So
Check
this
your
is
private
basically
messenger,
my
by the way. I think I just sent you an order for one.
my tent poles basically. So
Oh,
this is gonna hinge and just pivot up. Um, and then this is gonna sit over that
yep.
like so.
Wow.
Oh,
And
look at you. I
it'll
don't
go down
even
to there.
recognize you right now. Oh, I love it.
And then, so it will all be attached to the box
Yep.
itself.
Yep.
And then I'll be able to close it up and store it all in there.
Tuck it all back in.
And then go drive it. It's not going to
Perfect.
be
Genius. I love it.
just show. Yeah,
Good for
I'm
you.
actually, I'm gonna try and win an award at an event I found out that I'm gonna be attending in June.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't think I was ever gonna make it to one of these events.
Yep.
Because I'm not that I'm not an Axial fan.
Right.
I just don't own many 10th scale ones.
Yep.
Like I've got an original Wraith from 10 years ago. I don't want to beat it up because it's bone stock. I've got
Right,
other
right.
rigs that I beat on and stuff. So I'm gonna show up at Axial Fest Badlands and
Fantastic.
just run 24s the whole time.
Hey, you're checking the box. It's Axial.
We got some people in the chat room here that
A
are
lot.
talking about the tent, so people will
dude,
be interested to see
Check
it.
your private messenger. I can
Oh,
confirm
my
right
phone's
now.
blowing up. It's
I think
my phone's
I'm down
blowing
here
up.
texting you like, dude, I need one of them right now. Dude, I love it.
So great things to come, man. Yeah, we're
Yeah. Well,
excited to see it, and definitely loved having you on. We're about 8:57.
Yeah,
and,
it is. Our time does come up quick, and Joe and I both know once we get started, we can yap. We spent lots of late nights by the fire in Blue Rocks. Late nights just
that night
yapping.
that night you and I made popcorn.
Jiffy Pop on the fire, dude. That was the way to go.
Primo.
And then
popcorn.
we tagged Dreamers Ford with a Joe. He got the Ford emblem like right up front. Joe's like, dude, I got one the same size around here. So in the dark with flashlights, like,
yep.
We'll have to wait till the sun to come up.
I had to we had to do it like through the grill. You had to like hand it to me from the back while I'm sticking my fingers through the little openings in that honeycomb grill.
Oh, it was the perfect tag, and it's still there. It's still, every time I walk by his truck, I giggle.
I'm gonna finally put mine on my car this summer.
You should. Anyone with a Ford should be hitting you up for that sticker and slapping them.
I gotta make another order for those ones.
And
those
just
were a
market it that way. Oh,
those were a custom order from Max Customs Design.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have to hit them up and order some new.
It's just dumb luck. Batch. The shape of it, the simplicity of your logo, it's just brilliant.
Fits in there perfect. And the idea, I drive a Ford Focus.
Okay. Oh.
So I was sitting behind another Ford Focus in traffic one day, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's the same shape as my logo.
Yep.
I was like, I'm gonna order some the right size.
Yep.
So I gave him all the dimensions, and Max took care of me and got everything taken care of. So I'm definitely gonna be hitting him up again because I only got a few sets left. Cool.
Well, Peter, I'm gonna say my goodbyes to Joe. It was a pleasure.
Yes, Joe.
I'm gonna let Peter close you out because he's got control of the spaceship here. So, Joe, we'll be in touch. Thank you again, my man.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, Joe, thank you for coming on the show. We loved having you, and we look forward to seeing, more products. Looking forward to seeing you at events, and who knows, maybe Mike and I will see you at By the Fire, and looking forward to the website and all the good things coming from Joe Ropes. So keep pushing through and keep doing great things, man.
Thanks, Peter. Appreciate everything.
Yep.
Awesome.
We'll talk soon.
Awesome. Well, Peter, that went freaking amazing to be able to have a guest bring on Joe and talk and just literally so my comfort zone is here and I'm like way out here like, I am not that guy that's comfortable in crowds. I'm way outside my comfort zone doing this show with you each week, Peter. But it was a hurdle. It was an internal thing, like this. Everybody has their internal struggles, their solo war, something that they want to do, a goal, a personal goal. This was one for me to do a YouTube channel like this. So I started looking forward to this show more and more. I wake up on Sunday. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up excited to come back here again next week.
Yeah.
And I never thought that that was going to happen. When we started doing this on our road to USTE, it was such a softball throw. Like, let's just share how we, pack our bags and get through TSA. Such a lighthearted attempt at it. It's grown for me so much as this internal passion to do this. I really enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
And I think the hobby needs it too. I kind of want to use this as a platform, a soapbox to kind of have a voice and really get out ahead of some of the nonsense that goes along with the hobby. And I was talking to a guy today. He hit me up. We were chatting about the show, and we were kind of laughing. And when it comes to social media and the RC world inside of social media, there's like this 4% piece of the pie that RC actually has. And he's like, in my neighborhood, 30 guys have fishing rods, but no one owns an RC car. He's like, RC is such a small piece of the pie in the social media realm. So it's trying to get people to stop doing social media for the wrong reason. So I'm here to be this, give people inspiration and encourage everyone to get out there and post. Use your social media, use your platform to post your pictures, make your videos, do your reels, your TikToks, everything. I encourage you to do it. And I want to see what you're doing. Post it and give me a follow-up post. You get a new Gladiator today, post it. Show me again in a week from now what you did to it, how it runs, what your thoughts are. But one thing I have to be very clear on, do not let social media be the reason why you do this hobby. And there is a super clear distinction in what I am saying there, Peter. When I am saying, I want to see it, I want you to use social media, please get out there and be yourself and, let that freak flag fly and just get out there and be yourself, but don't let it be the reason why you do this hobby. Let me know that if your Instagram account was hacked and taken away from you today, that tomorrow, Peter, we're going to get up and do the exact same thing all over again. I don't do this hobby for social media. I like to share what I do on social media, but it's not the reason why I do it.
Well, and I think
distinction.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point because everybody's in the hobby. When we talk about this a lot, and we'll close out the show. Thank you, everybody that's commenting that they have to run. It was a pleasure. Look forward to seeing more. We got guests, we got discount codes coming up. This is just the launching pad. So, definitely.
And you
try to
did a
tune in
great
next
job
week.
tonight, Peter. It was flawless. You got them slid over nice and easy. And the whole Zoom thing that we're using and streaming to YouTube, it took us a while to get here, but I'm very happy with the way this is working.
We're only getting started. And to Mike's point, everybody's in the hobby for different reasons. I personally, if all this ended, all the sponsorships, I would still RC. It's all about like Mike said, let's see your adventure. If you're in the hobby just for how many followers you have, that's your jurisdiction. I mean, I'm in it for the adventure. I'm in it for the, prolong the hobby. So when my daughter's 20, she could pick up a remote and it's still here. I'm not in it for the followers. I'm in it for the passion of building. I'm in it for watching companies like Joe Ropes, everything Mike and I work with and support over the years, watching these brands grow. That's why I'm in the hobby. But, Mike said
And
a good
it's
point.
helping the people that we run into. When you and I landed at USTE the year before, we roll up in the car and this guy just approaches us out of nowhere. Hey, can you give me a hand? And without missing a beat, we just run right over, and we offer up product, parts, advice, feedback, whatever. If that's the part of it that you really shine through, Peter, is what you give back of yourself. You're always putting yourself out there, wanting to help someone else, because our mission is to make somebody's experience something to remember. And however you do it, I'm not asking you to give the guy $500 on the trail, but if he has a bad battery and you have an extra battery, we're looking to give that person a battery, make their day better than ours, and get them to come back. Hobby growth is the key. That's the reason you should be using social media, is to get people to see your posts. Dude, was that a real car? Is that a RC car? Whoa, I need to check out that RC hobby. That looks really cool.
Well, and I think another point that, you and I always talk about is always remember who got you started. People pave the way, people put you on a path, you stay in your lane and you grow in the hobby. But like I said, people use RC for different reasons, and you have to find out what your reason is. Like I said, if Facebook crashed, Mike and I know a lot of people, 70, 80,000 followers, their accounts get taken down, they're destroyed. Life is over.
Devastating.
If my Instagram crashed tomorrow, I would still be out on the trails. I don't do it for followers. I don't do it for likes. I do it for the passion, getting out there. When I'm on the trails, nothing else matters but that truck and my remote. That's why I'm out there, for the passion of the hobby. And like Mike said, at USTE, we ran into people on the trails. I gave a kid a patch and a sticker sheet from Trail. He made his whole day, his mother said. That's why I'm in the hobby, to see these types of things.
Yep.
And shaping young kids. At the end of the
Honestly.
day, we're adults playing with toy trucks, and
And
the
it's
drama,
a hobby.
the drama I see on Facebook, even behind the scenes, people
It's not worth
jealousy,
it.
people, that doesn't, that's going to always go on no matter what in life. But, at the end of the day, you have to steer your course and grow your brand and do it the way
You're
you
right.
want to do it.
I think any hobby, from BMXs to motorcycles, anything that, people are involved in, humanity, there's always going to be nonsense going on. But it's just a matter of, look, like I said, this is an opportunity for us to lead by example. You get back what you put out. So as long as I'm putting out that good vibe, I should be getting it back. You get back what you put out yourself. And so treat others how you would want to be treated would be the best way. But the best thing about an event and getting to an event is sharing it with other like-minded people. At the end of the day, we're the only people that understand and get each other. That's why we should all be supporting each other, is because no one else can get inside these heads and actually realize that this head's thinking about what tires I want to put on my next build. My wife might be thinking, she doesn't know what the heck I'm thinking half the time. She's like, "You're always so quiet. What are you thinking about?" I'm like, "Well, you would." I'm really kind of embarrassed, but I'm really just a giant nerd. And yeah, I'm thinking about what tires I want to put on that truck and what wheels are going to look good on the next one and what color I want to paint that one and what interior I want to do in that one. I'm always thinking about RC. I hate to say it, but that's my life. And I want people to just freaking enjoy the hobby, people. Come on.
That's
It's a
what
hobby,
it's about.
stress-free. You guys work all week long, stressing yourself out. Come to the RC hobby and just blow off some darn steam.
And that's what it's about. It's about enjoying the hobby. Why,
Yep.
you have to ask yourself, why did you join this hobby? I see people that burn out. You see people's names 6 months from now, you won't see their name no more because they move 1,000 miles an hour.
There is a part of this hobby for everyone, from bashing to RC boats to drones to go fast. Like there is something out there for everyone. You nail it right on the head, Peter. It's a piece of it for everyone. You find what you like. If it are you coming to the crawling scene to go Sorka and go copping, or are you coming to the crawling side to go walk some scale trails with us? You know, there's a piece of it for you. Find your niche, get out there and enjoy it. But just be worried about what you're doing. Jealousy is a fragrance that does not smell good on anyone. Jealousy stinks, period. And so just it's hopefully people stop getting jealous of everyone else. We're not here for any other reason but to kind of be a lead by example to show you all that we can all get along and get out there and have a good time.
Yeah.
That's it for me on a Saturday night. We kept it live. We kept it real. There's no extra charge for all the bloopers and blunders. You're welcome. We're up here making idiots of ourselves, but that's the whole point. This is the lighter side. We're bringing you a guest. Hopefully we're teaching you something. Maybe you learned something new about our homeboy, Joe Rope. That would be a win in my book. Just teaching someone, I hate to even say the word teach. Like, I'm not an expert. I'm not teaching anyone anything. I'm far from an expert. Hopefully I showed you something new tonight with the world of Joe Rope, and go check him out at Joe Rope. It's not official yet. You're going to have to shoot Joe Mason a private message, and that's how you order your Joe Rope for right now. But the website is coming.
Yeah. And we had a lot of companies in the chat. Shout out to DSM, Art for Power Hobby, Crawler Pole, RC Jesus, all these different vendors. It's nice to see the vendors come in. The people that represent companies.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, this is just a launching pad. To close out the show next week, we're going to have ProRack, Mr. Judd Rummage, join us as our guest speaker. And we got a lot of guests in the pipeline. We got discount codes. You never know what Mike is going to come up with for the show. So look for the reminder each week.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is just a launching pad getting started here. We got the technology down, and it's only going to take off. We have a new logo. I don't know if you guys saw it. The RAD Show, I just shared it today, and everybody that shared it, we have a new official logo now.
We'll get an intro going also. We'll work on that at the beginning of the show. We learned how to share our screen. But again, hopefully this is a place that you can come to, and the show is kind of filling a void on a Saturday night. The RC Jesus Show on Facebook. If you do not know who that is, go check out RC Jesus. He will be with us April 30th. It's an early plug for him. But if you're looking for the technical side and want to know the nitty gritty behind an RC, you're going to learn a lot from that man. RC Jesus can teach you the technical side. Every day I learn something new in this hobby, from the mechanics to something new electronically, and that should be for everyone. I'm not afraid to tell you I don't know it all. I don't pretend that I do, and everybody should be learning something new every day. That should be in life in general. Always have an open mind. There's no sense in being a know-it-all and trying to pretend that you know it all. You're just going to make yourself look dumb trying to act like that. So humble yourself a bit and realize, look, I'm not an expert. I learn half of the stuff I do from YouTube before I do it. If I did something here that looked cool in a post, I probably learned it from somewhere else on YouTube.
Yeah, and one disclaimer before we wrap up is, we're not trying to take the world over of podcasts, and there are options. There are plenty of RC shows. We're just two like-minded people just discussing RC updates, RC news, brands we love. We're not paid spokesmen for any of these companies. These are brands we follow, we support, we like. And, we're just two like-minded people just giving the RC community our thoughts. And it's only going to continue to grow. So, Mike, definitely a pleasure. And everybody on the chat room,
we went
thank you
over
for tuning in. Everybody, all the comments. We tried to get through as much as we can.
I don't want to say goodbye.
It was busy in the chat room. We try, thank you all the vendors. Thank you all the people that joined. And we'll see you guys next week. Good show.
Yeah,
Gus signing out.
Peter, thank you. I hate to say goodbye. I had so much fun. I can't wait to come back here again next Saturday. Peter, thank you for everything you've done. Made it look good. We got a new guest next week, like Peter said. So until then, people, thank you for tuning in. We're here all week. Looking forward to it again. So I just close me out. I don't want to say goodbye.